Hey guys, it's me, Mario again, and today we are going to continue which one? Today we're going to continue Beast Quest. Yeah. It's been a really long time. Really long time. Really long time since we've read that. Yeah, sorry about that. Didn't really want to read Beast Quest. I wanted to read the Great Dragon book instead. So sorry about that. Sorry about that. I'm sorry. I didn't really want to read Beast Quest, so sorry about that. Got watery eyes. For some odd reason. Alright. Beast Quest. Ferno the Fire Dragon. Drink. I have a system that's kind of hard to set up, so... Well, not really. But then again, I do have to, take two drawers from in here to out there and laundry baskets. Or, on top of the things, so... It's a little bit of a hassle, but it works, so yeah. Chapter 8. The Final Battle. Tom swung round and whistled to Storm. The Zed-Black stallion galloped up to him. "Come on, boy," he cried, leaping into the saddle. "We've got to save Elena." Tom touched his heels to Storm's sides, and the horse leaped bravely forward. Over the noise of the stallion's pounding hooves, Tom could hear another roar building in the dragon's throat. "Elena, look out!" Tom shouted. Elena looked around and saw the dragon's huge open mouth above her. Open mouth above her. She froze. As Storm galloped past Helena and Silver, Tom hurled himself from the horse's back. He landed deadly, and pain shot through his ankle. But there was no time to stop. There was a boulder on the hillside close by. If they could all just get behind but it was too late. Ferno's eyes narrowed to fierce slits. With a roar, he blasted an enormous fireball from his mouth. Ignoring the pain in his ankle, Tom threw himself in front of Elena and held up his shield. The fireball hit the wooden shield with such force that Thomas staggered back. Flames hissed angrily around the edges of the shield. Here's a picture of that. Yeah. Seeing the hairs on Tom's arms as he struggled to hold it between them and the fireball. The heat burned Tom's throat as he gulped the air, and he could see Elena's eyes watering, leaving tracks in the dirt on her face. Leaving tracks of dirt on her face. Bleh. But the shield that Eldora had given him held out. They were safe. The dragon retreated through a final frustrated hiss over his shoulder. But Tom knew Ferno would return. Frantically, he threw the shield on the ground and smothered the frame. To smother the frame, and soon only thick black smoke remained in the air. The shield was scorched, but it was still in one piece. Tom swung it over his shoulder, scrapped it into place, and helped Elena up. He could feel her trembling. Are you okay? Are you alright? Bleh. Are you alright? Elena nodded her head slowly, her eyes wide in shock. I think so. Thanks to you and Storm. But what about Silver? The wolf was still lying unconscious on the ground. We can't help him until we've dealt with Ferno. Tom told her gently, if the beast roasted us, nobody will be left to look after Silver. You're right, Elena said, but how? Tom whistled for Storm. Neighing loudly, the horse trotted up through the curtain of smoke. Well done, boy, you were very fast, Tom told him. But now we've got to be even faster. He scrambled up into the saddle. Then he leaned down and passed his sword to Elena. Protect yourself with this. What are you going to do? She asked. I'm going to free the dragon, Tom cried, unfastening the shield and hooking his arm through it. Ready for battle? Wish me luck. Ready for battle. Wish me luck. With a whoop, he tugged his heels once more into Storm's sides. The horse shot like an arrow in the direction of the dragon had taken. A few moments later, out of the smoke and mist, Ferno roared up ahead. Hearing Tom and Storm, he turned his huge head towards them. Spreading his wings, he pulled back to strike. It was now or never. fighting to keep his balance and wincing at the pain in his ankle. Tom moved into a crouching position in the saddle. The horse raced toward the beast's outstretched right wing. At the final moment, Storm tucked to gallop beneath it, and Tom leaped into the air with a thump. He landed on top of Ferno's wing. It felt hard as stone, but blood warm. The dragon flapped his mighty wings in slow, jerky sweeps. Struggling to find a handhold, Tom felt himself start to slip. With a furious hiss, the dragon whipped round and thrust his head up close to look at Tom. Seizing his hands, Tom dipped under the beast's craggy thin end, threw himself at the enchanted collar around its neck. Wow. Another picture. Got you, he cried, slipping his left arm through over the golden edge of the collar. Under here he was safe from the dragon's fire, but now Ferno was throwing his head from side to side, trying to shake him off. Tom felt as though his arm was about to be torn off. With his free hand, he pulled the key from around his neck and tried to fit it in the lock. But the constant movement of the dragon made it impossible. He tried to steady himself and managed to get the tip of the magic key to the edge of the lock. Nearly there, Ferno roared in anger. The noise was deafening. Tom's arm turned with pain, and the world started spinning about him. Then, as the dragon flung his head up, the key slipped from Tom's fingers and fell to the ground far below. I need to drink. Hope you guys are enjoying this, because I am not. Alright. Hope this records. No, Tom yelled. The dragon threw his head forward and twisted his neck. But still Tom clung on. He had been so near to victory. But now what could he do to get the key back? Suddenly, through the drifting smoke, he saw Elena below, climbing onto Storm. He was holding her bow and arrow, and looked as if she meant to use it, but she was aiming the arrow at him. "Your shield, Tom," he yelled. She yelled. What are you doing?" he shouted in confusion. Quickly, he shifted his grip on the collar and raised his scorched shield. Just as Elena released the arrow, with a thunk it landed in the scorched wood. Tom peered over the top of the shield. There was the key. Elena had found it and tied it to the end of the arrow. Good old Elena. Tom pulled the arrow and the key out of the shield. The dragon lunged forward and breathed on another deadly fireball at Elena. But Storm was quicker. He thundered over the scorched grass, carrying her clear of danger. The dragon shook his head in fury. Tom felt his strength return. With the key in his hand, there was still hope. For an instant, the dragon was quick. Quickly, Tom pushed the key into the lock and turned with a smooth click. The enchanted collar glowed a brilliant blue for a moment. Then it faded away to nothing. Here is Tom unlocking the collar on Ferno's neck. I did it, Tom thought. I nearly did it. I really did it. Then in the same split second, he realized that now, with the collar gone, he had nothing to cling on to but the key. With a shot, Tom found himself plunging towards the ground. But as Tom fell, the key suddenly rose into the air above him, pulling his arm up. Somehow it was slowing his fall. He felt the wind rise and carry him over to where Elena and Storm stood awaiting. He landed softly beside them. "Yes," he shouted, dazed and jubilant. Ferno had been freed, and it felt as though he had set free something in himself, too. All his doubts and fears of failure melted away. The dragon would threaten the kingdom no longer, and Tom, with the help of his friends, had been the one to put things right. "Tom, you were almost flying," gasped Elena. "How did you do that?" "It was the key," he said, holding it up in awe. Just then, Silver bounded through the smoke towards them. He was all right. Elena gathered up the panting wolf in a hug. I am panting because I usually don't read this long out loud. Tom turned to face the beast. He loomed over them, and Tom had to lean back to see Ferno's red eyes, which were still fixed on him. But this time, Tom wasn't afraid. "You're free now," he called out softly. "Free to protect our land and people." The fire dragon shook out his powerful wings. He dipped his huge head at Tom and acknowledged him, and them two took, and then he took flight. Tom and Eleanor watched in silence as Ferno swooped over the dry riverbed and lashed out with his tail at the barrier of boulders. The huge rocks shattered, and a wave of clear water surged down the riverbed. Like a caged creature released. "This was just for starters, Marvel," Tom shouted, punching the air. "I won't rest until all the beasts are free." Eleanor and Tom could see Ferno drinking deeply from the water of the river. Then he threw back his spiky head roared and launched himself into the air, leaving a rainbow of fire across the blue sky. The dragon swooped over Tom and Eleanor's heads and flew towards the horizon. They watched as he disappeared into the distance. Eleanor turned to look at Tom. "How are you feeling?" she asked. Tom could feel his eyes brimming with happiness. "Like a hero," he replied. Storm neighed and Silver howled as if they both agreed with him. Eleanor and Tom burst out laughing. "Now, the only question is, what next?" Tom said. And that was chapter 8. I don't know when I'm going to read the last chapter, the beginning, so I don't know when I'm going to read that to you guys. This took 23 minutes, but okay then. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the final combat. And I will see you in the next one. I hope this records, because it is like almost 30 minutes long, so yeah. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed my reading of these things. And I hope I will see you in the next one. See ya.